because of Cataclysm.
Ugh, of course. Cool, this is a good
I don't
simple
really
missions.
know.
It's not like I told Skittles the
What
construct
is
was
it?
here.
What is it we're gonna do in 100 hours straight? Made legendary. Are we playing 100 hours? I played more than 100 hours. I am full legendary. That's so annoying. That's really annoying. This is annoying.
They could at
as well.
least
Look at this.
authorize them.
What the
Yeah,
fuck is this
Scar's
shit?
already
Why
do
is it
that.
not
Try to
masterwork or
look up
legendary like support items? So anyway, the reason why we'll be boycotting, I don't think it's gonna boycott I don't think I'm gonna be boycotting. But I don't really want to play either. So I'm like, what's the point? Like, what is the point? Until you fix it, what's the point? I want to know what your thoughts are down below. But I think they're on a set schedule. I think they're on, how can they not like be like, oh yeah, the loop's amazing, here it is. But
We're in.
I don't know. I want to know what your thoughts and feelings are down below. Are you boycotting the game? The game needs fixing. It isn't where it is right now. But we'll have to see how it goes. I guess we'll find out eventually what happens if they're going to fix it. I think right now, Ben Irvine away at a wedding.
Please do.
I think once he comes back to the US, we're going to get a live stream. So I guess we'll dress up on there. I might do the live stream. See what happens when the live stream. I don't think we're going to get another patch this week.
Where is everybody?
Relieving themselves, considering what's on the menu?
You get master
From what we
all the
can
time.
tell,
This
Scar's
man on 99%.
gone off.
Like, I'm getting the master works. I do get you've not got god rolls on them. You're looking for the god rolls.
I found the scars. Thanks, Seth. Very
Keep the
helpful.
legendaries
I've got an
low.
idea,
Fine. I
but
don't
it's
mind the
definitely
legendaries
not
being low, but
covert.
masterworks
Told
needs
you,
to be
not priority.
common.
And
Masterworks needs to be,
freelancer.
and Grandmaster 1, 2, and 3. Masterworks needs to be guaranteed all the time. Like, just get rid of the epic loop from Grandmaster 1 onwards. I think that's the better idea. I think that's the better way of doing it. Get rid of epics, commons, rare, and from Grandmaster 1 under, they should stay, but Grandmaster 1 and up. Masterworks is the lowest number you've got, legendaries, and gold, easy peasy, I've just sold the loot box. That is it. Then all you can do is dismantle all of the masterworks. You're gonna they think we're gonna hoard all the garbage masterwork. No, we want god rolls, man. What god rolls are garbage. What we'll wait for, we'll wait for the god rolls. Not the garbage.
Explosives in place. Wow. It's a default setting.
Focus,
I won't be boycotting
please.
the game. I'll play the game. We'll do a video. I'm not gonna lie to you guys and say I'm not gonna play the game because I'm not like, yeah, let's boycott. There probably is other people. I can't 100% speak for the YouTubers, but maybe they won't play the game. But when you're a YouTuber and you're talking about Anthem, you need to play the game to do the stuff within the game to talk about the game. But getting the videos out there, complaining about the loot by the YouTubers, by the Reddit is a good thing. Because that will force BioWare to do something. Boycott the game, I don't think it has to be a huge boycott. Like, everybody has to do it. Like, loads of people have to do it. Cannot do it. Like, the only way it works is for some people to do it. Anyway, guys, I want to thank you so much for watching. Have fun today. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye. Guys, best the one at the bottom. The next video
Explosives primed. Get back, freelancer.
Thank you so much. Love you all. Fantastic day. Goodbye.
Way's clear.
And you've still got all your fingers and toes.
This is a story about a magical place where everything's amazing.
Looks like you
Especially
tapped into
the
a
people.
primitive sewer system.
We can tell you everything there is to
Good
know
news is,
about over
we're closing in on the
400,000
contract.
different pieces
And
of gear.
probably more scars, but that's to be expected.
Seth, I've already noted that I'm literally
He
walking
does
through
this all
shit
day.
for you.
We'll help you find the right brain. It's often not the most expensive. That's pretty rare.
Frying pan.
And just like you,
That's
we
not
love
the
to
expression.
explore and
Keep
share
moving.
our passion.
Exits above
Because
you.
we're creators as well. Will and Jake like to make videos for the web. Oh, by the way, if you can't meet us in person, you can always chat with us online. Think of us as collaborators, production partners, problem solvers. This is great. We made 5 gold rings. And here's Jay, king of the game. Wait, not ready, Jay. Sometimes we geek out and help each other, but mostly we're here to help you. Like Lenny, who's still going, because there's a lot to say when you're making some pretty important decisions. So now you've met 16 of over 1,000 employees. 16 reasons our customers like to do business with me, not out. We are me.
What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the Quartering Mobile Setup, so sorry if it looks a little jank. But we've got a lot to talk about today, including
Yes.
probably
readings are
the
climbing.
most disappointing video game movie of all time, and of course how Captain Marvel saved my life. Now that Doom video is going to come first. If you're watching that now, stay tuned for the Captain Marvel video closer to 5. Now, I was tepidly warm on the new Doom movie just because I felt like the original Doom, the 2016 Doom, was so bad that Doom fans deserve something better. The trailer came out yesterday, and I noticed something very interesting. In particular, the like-to-dislike ratio of 1.1 thousand up to 16,000 down. That's a 16 to 1 dislike ratio. By the way, I hope I do apologize for being out of studio, but I've got a day job, and I will be back in the studio hopefully very, very soon. But while I'm working, I'm making sure I make time to get you all your videos each day. And I'm sorry about the audio issue yesterday, but I appreciate you, and hopefully you appreciate me and you'll like this video as well. You look at some of the, and it's so sad because now it would appear that basically that we're going to have to refer to the 2015 Doom movie as the good one. Top comment, what was the budget, $5,000? Did the movie just become a masterpiece? Did the first movie become a masterpiece overnight? We're not involved with this. I understand Doom is about hell, but which means torment and suffering, but this is too much pain. Spawn parodies looks better, and it just looks so bad. And it is so bad, in fact, that the official Doom account has disavowed. The official Bethesda and Doom has disavowed. You see their retweet. Someone saying, I really want Doom and Software to give your most honest opinion on the trailer for Doom Annihilation. Their reply, we're not involved with it. Zing! And, you know, there is some undertone a little bit of the Doom movie getting woke, but nothing like too crazy. You see one of the stars here, unfortunately saying, who needs a Doom guy? Middle finger punch, hashtag official taking over, hashtag boss, hashtag Doom. You know, again, this did not go well. You see the stars of the film getting completely ratioed on their own post, saying this movie is going to be horrible, and that was back in June, by the way. That was before anyone saw the film. I don't know, maybe Doom fans need him. On behalf of the Doom community, I'm pretty upset at these comments that some sort of saying. This is going to be Ghostbusters 3 all over again. I feel like people just don't try to stick to source material. Have you ever had a movie about Doom without a Doom guy? It's like having a Mario game without Mario. I mean, and I'm sure that this post hasn't aged well. I believe they're filming in Bulgaria. Oh, it looks like this is an old post. Thanks, Amy. Now I don't have to waste my time with this movie and just play Doom Eternal, a game that actually stars its main character. And that is, of course, a big drawback, but the trailer itself has become a meme overnight. New direct-to-video Doom movie gives first trailer and it doesn't look great. You can look at even PC Gamer Doom Annihilation's debut trailer is so bad, Bethesda officially disavowed it. We can call it hell. Yeah, me too. You can tell me the 2005 Doom movie set. It has some good players like Carl Urban, Rosenman, Titan, The Rock, but they weren't enough from it being a 105 minutes of hot garbage. So naturally, they're making a new one. It's called Doom Annihilation. And if the debut show is anything to go by, it's not going to suck. It's going to suck. Annihilation Comics, by the way, is Universal 1440 Entertainment, division of Universal Pictures Home Entertainment. It's a direct-to-video flick set to come out this fall. The plot, such as it is a direct lift from what we know and love. A team of Space Marines are set to investigate a distress signal sent from a new base, only to discover that it's been overrun by demons. A team of it's written by Tony Giglio, whose previous credits included SWAT, Under Siege, which is not the one starring Colin Farrell and Samuel L. Jackson, and stars Amy Manson, Louis Mandylor. I don't know any of these people. The film seems to come out of nowhere, but it may be the project was rumored way back in 2011, when it was also Universal Studios joined. There wasn't a lot of enthusiasm at that time. I'd rather see a Duke Nukem action parody film, as former editor Dan Sableton put it. And while one trailer does not a full-length movie make, that I would too. I don't want to judge prematurely, but I think that Die, Die, Die delivered with all the emotional commitment of supersizing Your Order at the drive-thru could be the cinematic equivalent of Rip and Tear Update. Someone asked id Software and Bethesda what they thought of the video. Take this as you will, and then they quote, of course, that they are not involved with it. I mean, and you see, like, you know, Amy Manson and Gemma Moore here on the scene of Doom Eternal, and just in general, direct-to-video Doom Annihilation movie trailer is hellish. The original Doom movie is getting a sequel with Doom Annihilation, and the trailer for the direct-to-video features is everything you'd expect it to be. Do you remember when the Doom movie from 2005 featuring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, whether you loved it or hated it, is now getting a sequel? Doom Annihilation's coming fall 2019, and is bringing a BFG along with it. Bloody Disgusting reports that the movie is being written and directed by Tony. Okay, so there's not much here. Doom Eternal is the next game coming to the legendary franchise. Of course, they're going to try to capitalize on that with this film, but I don't think it's going to do well. It will be a meme. It will be more of a meme than the original 2005 Doom, which at least you could argue that there are some original fans of it. And I don't understand. You know, I can say honestly, in my opinion, I actually really liked some video game movies. I liked Silent Hill, even though a lot of people say that movie stunk. I liked probably the first Mortal Kombat. You know, there has been good video game movies made. I just don't know if they don't get the budget, or they don't get like the correct directors, or maybe actors don't want to star in them. I'm not sure. As if one god-awful Doom movie wasn't enough for a single lifetime, Universal has flexed its fingers, delved into the unfathomable depths, and propped up a new direct-to-video film inspired by id's legendary FPS franchise. It's called Doom Annihilation, and I don't know, it could be good. To me, it looks like an ultra low budget, like sci-fi TV movie. Now, the guy who directed it, having directed Death Race 2, 3, Soccer Dog, the movie, Doom Annihilation is a reboot of the franchise live-action form, meaning you probably won't need to rush out and catch up on the plot intricacies from the first Doom to understand it. Although, I do recommend, if you are going to see this, which, I don't know, maybe people will be sailing the high seas. I can't see paying a dime for it. It looks awful. It could be woke. I'm not sure. Doom Annihilation, as you well might imagine, follows a group of Space Marines to respond to a distress call. Things do not go as planned. The team discovers the base has been overrun by demonic creatures. Not that we should be particularly concerned about the new version sounding familiar. The plot managed to carry 4 Doom games so far, and I'm also very excited for Doom Eternal, to be honest. The latest cinematic iteration promises it will be an intense, action-packed installment. Whether or not that's intentional, I quite like that the trailer makes Doom Annihilation seem as though it's tumbled straight out of the 80s B-movie purgatory. I'm a little more than concerned, however. Rather than giving us iconic Doom monsters like Hell Knights and Cacodemon, the trailer opts to showcase Lumpy Thing and Shouty Person with dirty teeth. Doom Annihilation stars a bunch of people I don't care about. You know, I don't know. It's fun to support a movie franchise, I think, in terms of, you know, if you really are into the lore. I think there are many video games that would probably make excellent films, but maybe there's a stigma around actually shooting video game films. You know, it's hard to say. I mean, you can see the fandom, obviously. This might be the single most passive-aggressive neutral statement I've ever before seen in my life. You can read their intentions. Quote, "We're not involved with this dumpster fire." That's a very loaded statement. Okay, but can I play as Carl Urban? I mean, the Doom fandom, I think, with this film being direct to video, I don't think it will face the same mockery and scrutiny as maybe the original 2005 film did. And still, for all of the film's problems, The Rock, I think, is still decent as generic movie actor. He's had some good movies. He's had a lot of bad movies. But this Doom film, I'm concerned when I see stuff like this, like who needs Doom Guy? Okay, well then are you even really making a Doom movie if you don't care about having Doom Guy? I'm not sure what the implication is here, but I will say that I'm not really excited to see this film. I will not go out of my way to see this film. And if the trailer is any indication whatsoever in terms of the comments, nobody is going to see this ever. I expect nothing, and still I'm disappointed. You know it's going to be bad when the original silent protagonist has more character than the four wizards. Who needs Doom Guys? Taking over? We see you on Rotten Tomatoes, sweetheart. Yeah, exactly. I mean, people are watching for this kind of stuff, and, was it, we'll have to see in the film, is it because they got woke? I don't know. Is it just because they have trash budget? I don't know. It's probably some combination. I haven't really seen any marketing around the movie being woke, but I have seen the trailer and I've seen the movie star kind of poke fun at the original. So I guess we could have it for laughs. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.
There is nothing more demoralizing for me as a consumer than seeing developers tell me one thing about their game leading up to its launch, and then playing something completely different and significantly inferior. Those who've been following the gaming industry will be no stranger to infamous cases of downgrades and false marketing for highly anticipated titles. Ubisoft in particular is notorious for this, with Watch Dogs and The Division being perfect examples of games whose E3 presentations nowhere near lived up to the final product. Most recently, Bethesda hyperbolically marketed Fallout 76 with infamous lines like 16 times the detail, only to ship a game that was not only poorly conceptualized and horribly executed, but also lied about the contents of its collector's edition. Joining the club of games that woefully failed to deliver on promises and expectations is Electronic Arts and BioWare's Anthem, whose most prominent showcases nowhere near accurately portrayed the final product. One user in the Anthem subreddit compiled some of the features we saw in past gameplay footage that are now completely missing in a thread titled, "Whatever happened to these things?" just a few